presents Beagle Shyster and Beagle, episode number 1, November 28, 1932. Cast Groucho Marx as Waldorf T. Beagle, attorney at law. Chico Marx as Emmanuel Ravelli, his assistant. Ms. Dimple, stenographer. Mr. Jones, client. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. The curtain is rising on the offices of Beagle Shyster and Beagle, attorneys at law. That's Miss Dimple on the switchboard, and you'll hear Groucho Marx in the part of the senior, Mr. Beagle.
Law offices of Beagle Shyster and Beagle. No, Mr. Beagle isn't in yet. He's in court. Thank you. Beagle Shyster and Beagle. No, Mr. Beagle's in court. I expect him any minute. Okay.
Good morning, Mr. Beagle. Never mind that. Get President Hoover on the phone. There's a picture of me in the police station, and it doesn't do me no justice. It makes me look like my father. In fact, it is my father. Never mind calling the president. Just find out what the reward is. Mr. Beagle, I've got some letters for you to sign. Not now, not now. I've had a big day in court. What was the case? Disorderly conduct, but I think I'll get off. Why shouldn't I? She hit me first. Mr. Beagle, you hit a woman? Well, she was my size, even smaller. Besides, if it weren't for my own arrest, I'd never get a case. Any calls?
Yes, your creditors have been calling all morning. They said they're tired of phoning, and that something will have to be done.
All right, we'll do something. We'll have the phone taken out.
Okay.
That's a good girl. Your salary is raised to $10.
Thank you, Mr. Beagle.
It's nothing at all. Say, how about lending me that $10 till payday?
But Mr. Beagle, I haven't been paid in weeks. Besides, you overlooked the fact
I've overlooked plenty around here. A fine stenographer you are. What do you do with your time? The floors aren't washed, the windows aren't cleaned, and my pants aren't even pressed.
But Mr. Beagle...
Enough of this small talk. Where's that $10?
I haven't a penny.
Who's asking for a penny? If I wanted a penny, I could go to my baby's bank, if I had a baby. I'm going into my office now. If the phone rings, don't answer it. It may be a wrong number.
Come in.
Hello, my name's Emmanuel Ravelli. Is the boss in?
He's busy. Have you got a card?
Sure, but I take another one. I want to see the boss.
What do you want to see him about?
Well, you see, I want to get a divorce.
Mr. Beagle's a very busy man. I'll have to fill out a report. You want a divorce? Let's see. Any children?
Sure, 6. Maybe 7. I don't see very good. Wait, let me see. There's a Tony, there is a Josie, there's a Pasquale, there is a Angelino, there is a Jake. Oh, no, Jake. Jake, that's the kid next door. You see, I get them all mixed up. And then we got a new little baby.
A new little baby? Is it a boy or girl?
I don't know. He don't speak yet.
How long have you been married?
Oh, lady, I'm not married. My brother, he's a married.
Oh, he wants the divorce.
Oh, no, he don't want a divorce. He likes his wife. He's happy, but I think he's a little bit crazy.
You mean you want him to divorce his wife just because you don't like her?
No, lady, I like her. She's a nice gal, but she's a no very good cook.
Does your brother complain?
No, he's a no complain. He's satisfied. He eats out.
Why don't you eat out?
Well, you see, I can't afford it. I no got a job.
Why don't you get a job?
All right, never mind the divorce. I take a job.
I have to speak to Mr. Beagle. Where can I get a hold of you?
I don't know, lady. You see, I'm a very ticklish.
I mean, where do you live?
I live with my brother.
Just take a seat. I'll call Mr. Beagle. Mr. Beagle?
Well, did you get that $10?
No, there's a man out here wants to talk to you about a job.
Tell him I'll take it, but I won't work for less than $20 a week.
You misunderstand. He wants a job here.
Oh, he wants a job. I think I can put him to work. I don't want to work. I just want a job. How about references? Oh, that's all right. You don't need no references. I like your face. And I like your face, if it is a face. Say, you look exactly like a fellow I used to know by the name of Emmanuel Ravelli. Are you his brother? I'm Emmanuel Ravelli. You're Emmanuel Ravelli? I'm Emmanuel Ravelli. No wonder you look like him, but I still insist there's a resemblance. Hey, we no speak about money. That suits me fine. If you promise not to say anything about it, I won't mention it either. All right, but I gotta have more money. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll give you $6 a week, and you can bring your own lunches. Well, I'll go even further than that. I'll give you $6 a week, and you can bring lunch for me too. $6 a week. 6. Hey, boss, I can't live on $6 a week. You can't live on $6 a week? That will make me very happy. You're hired. When do I start? Well, it's 1 o'clock now. If you start now, you can be back here at 3 with the lunch. You can bring me a tomato sandwich on white bread. I ain't no got a white bread, but I can give you rye. All right, then I'll take a quarter rye. I'm sorry, but I'm wearing them. You're wearing a quarter rye? Yes, my quarter rye pants. Say, why don't you get double ammonia? I don't need it. I'm a single man. Besides, I gotta have more money. Have you had any experience? You bet. For 15 years, I'm a musician. What do you get an hour? Well, for playing, I get $10 an hour. What do you get for not playing? $12 an hour. That's more like it. Now, for rehearsing, I make a special rate. $15 an hour. What do you get for not rehearsing? Oh, you couldn't afford it. You see, if I no rehearse, I no play. And if I no play, that runs into money. What would you want to run into an open manhole? Just the cover charge. Well, drop in sometime. Sewer. I guess we've cleaned that up. No, we no clean that up. Now let's see how we stand. Yesterday I didn't come. That cost you $15. Today I did come. That's $20 you owe me. Tomorrow I leave. That's worth about $1 million. But let's not quibble over money. I offered you $6. I'll raise you to 2. You raise me to 2. I raise you 3. I call you. What do you got? I got aces up. What do you got? I got a notion to throw you out of the office. All right, I'll take it.
Beagle, Shyster, and Beagle? Oh, hello, Charlie. Call me back. There's someone coming in.
My name is Edgar T. Jones. I want to see Mr. Beagle.
He's in the office. Walk right in.
Thank you.
How do you do, Mr. Beagle? A friend of mine told me you were a good lawyer.
You just think he's a friend of yours. Sit down. Have you got a couple of cigars?
Oh, no. No, I'm sorry.
Well, why don't you send out for some? If you've got a quarter, I'll go myself.
Oh, no, Mr. Beagle.
What's the matter? Don't you trust me?
Why, I'd like to talk to you. I'm having trouble with my wife.
You are? Well, I'm having trouble with my wife, too. But I don't go around bragging about it. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Miss Dimple, show this gentleman the door. On second thought, never mind the door. He saw it when he came in.
But, Mr. Beagle, I came to you for advice. Let me tell you a story. My wife is in love with 2 men and...
Not a bad story. The boys are all repeating it around the club. Now let me tell you one. There were 2 traveling men named Pat and Mike.
No, Mr. Beagle, I came here with a problem.
Well, why didn't you bring her in?
You don't understand. I'm looking for evidence against my wife.
Well, why didn't you say so? Let me look at my law book. Here we are. Here it is. The case of Elmer T. Gribble against the Lehigh and Western Railroad. Of course, the Lehigh is just a short road. It's only a Lehigh to a grasshopper. But, Mr. Beagle, that's a railroad law book. Well, what's wrong with it? It's got 800 pages, and it's as clean as a whistle. If I had a whistle, I'd show you. But I'm suing my wife. Is that any reason why I should have to buy another law book? Why don't you sue a railroad? A railroad's got more money than your wife. Besides, the railroad won't ask for alimony. Please, Mr. Beagle, I don't want to argue. I'm tired, nervous, run down. Run down? Say, now we've got a case. Were you run down by a railroad? Mr. Beagle, you try my patience. I don't mind if I do. You must come over and try mine someday. I'm putting up a new batch. Batch? What batch? The batch on my pants. Some joke, huh? But that's a mere trifle. Now, as I understand it, what you really want is to shadow your wife. I've got just the man for you, my new assistant, Emmanuel Ravelli. He looks like an idiot and talks like an idiot. But don't let that fool you. He really is an idiot. You and Ravelli will have a lot in common. Mr. Beagle, my time is valuable. Let me give you the facts. I married my wife secretly. You married her secretly? You mean you haven't told her about it? No wonder she runs around with other men. Mr. Beagle, we must get this divorce. Now, I want your assistant, Mr. Ravelli, to follow my wife, one thing at a time. Let's get the divorce first, and then we can all follow your wife. I don't quite understand the proceedings, Mr. Beagle, but I'll leave everything in your hands. You're the doctor. I'm the doctor, good. I'll take your tonsils out on Monday. I'll take your wife out on Tuesday. On Wednesday, just a minute, Mr. Beagle. Dr. Beagle to you. Stick your tongue out and come back next Wednesday. Please, get your assistant. I want to give him a description of my wife. Very well, Mr. Jones. If that's the way you feel about it, I'll call him. Ravelli! Ravelli! Miss Dimple! Wake up, Ravelli! Miss Dimple! Will you wake up, Ravelli? Mr. Jones, will you go in and wake up Miss Dimple, and leave a call for me at 9? Here I am, boss. You calling Ravelli? See here, I don't like you sleeping on company's time. I don't like sleeping on it either. Why don't you buy me a bed? Ravelli, I want you to meet Mr. Jones. All right, where should I meet him? Mr. Ravelli, I'm very happy to make your acquaintance. I don't know what he's talking about. He means he's very happy to know you, but he's probably crazy.
Mr. Ravelli, I've just been telling Mr. Beagle that much as I regret to say it, my wife is not all that she should be. She's going around with other men.
She's going around with other men? That's a fine. Hey, you think she like me? I can see that you two boys have a lot to talk over. Besides, I have a directors meeting across the street in the pool room, so if you'll excuse me, I'll scram. Pool room? Mr. Beagle, it strikes me that things aren't done in a very businesslike way around here. In the middle of a conference, you go out and play pool? I've got to go out. I can't play pool in here. There's no table. Good day, gentlemen.
Well, Mr. Ravelli, as long as you're going to trail my wife, I think I ought to describe her to you. She's of medium height and... But wait, never mind. I've got a photograph of my wife with me. Ah, there you are, Mr. Ravelli.
Hey, that's fine. All right, I'll take a dozen. I'm not selling them. You mean I get it for nothing? Of course. All right, then I take 2 dozen. One picture ought to be enough for the present. Now, Mr. Ravelli, there's one man my wife has been paying particular attention to. I'm counting on you to find out who he is. Do you think you can do it? Sure, you leave him to me. I find out who the man was with your wife, and I find out quick.
Really? How are you going to do it?
Well, first I put on a disguise.
Yes?
Then I get a bloodhound.
Yes?
Then I go to your house.
Yes?
Then I ask your wife. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Law offices of Beagle Shyster Beagle. No, Mr. Beagle isn't in yet, but I expect him any moment. Oh, hello, Mr. Jones. I didn't recognize your voice. Yes, Mr. Ravelli is still trailing your wife, but it hasn't been long. Just 2 weeks. We expect Mr. Ravelli in the office this morning. He says he has some news. Okay, I'll tell Mr. Beagle you'll be in. Goodbye. Good morning, Mr. Beagle.
Quick, get Warburton, McAllister, Throckmorton, and Bruce on the phone and ask for Mr. Schwartz. Tell him I want to borrow a pair of socks.
Borrow a pair of socks?
Why not? When he came to me, I gave him the very shirt off my back. Of course, it happened to be his shirt, but the cuffs were mine. Any new clients, Miss Dimple?
No, sir.
No clients. Whenever I leave you in charge, there's no business. Yesterday I stuck around and what happened? We had a big day.
Yesterday was a big day?
Certainly. Didn't I sell the carpet?
Why,
And Miss Dimple, before I forget, call Ravelli and tell him to be sure and oversleep.
But he phoned and said he was coming right in.
In that case, I'm going right back to the pool room.
Oh, but Mr. Jones is on his way here to talk to you about his divorce.
That's all he ever talks to me about. I'm getting pretty sick of it, too.
But, Mr. Beagle, that's your business.
Well, I wish he'd keep his nose out of my business.
Shh, someone's coming in. I think it's Mr. Jones. Oh, how do you do, Mr. Jones?
How do you do, Miss Dimple? Mr. Beagle, about my divorce. Divorce? You're going to start that again? Listen, Jones, can I sell you a ticket to the Fireman's Ball? It's a $5 ticket, and it's yours for $1.50.
This is last year's ticket.
I know it is, but they had a better show last year.
Mr. Beagle,
when will I find out about my divorce case? See here, Jones, don't change the subject. What about the ticket?
I don't like to appear impatient, Mr. Beagle, but your assistant was supposed to bring in some evidence against my wife. Where is Mr. Ravelli?
Hey, who's calling Ravelli? Here I am.
Ah, Mr. Ravelli, I'd like to get the results of your investigation. Have you been trailing my wife?
Sure, just like a bloodhound. Hey, you remember when you gave me that picture of your wife?
Yes.
Well, I stuck right out. Just like a bloodhound, I tell you. And in 1 hour, even less than 1 hour.
Yes?
I'll lose at the pitch. There you are, Mr. Jones. He did all that in only 1 hour.
Ravelli, then you didn't shadow my wife.
Sure, I shadow her all day.
What day was that?
That was shadow day. I went right to your house.
What did you find out?
I found your wife out.
Then you wasted the entire 2 weeks.
Oh, no. Monday I shadow your wife. Tuesday I go to the ball game. She don't show up. Wednesday she go to the ball game. I don't show up. Thursday was a double header. We both don't show up. Friday it rained all day. There was no ball game, so I go fishing.
Well, what's that got to do with my wife?
Well, I no catch no fish, but I catch your wife.
You caught my wife? With a man?
Sure.
Who was he?
I don't want to say.
I insist that you tell me the man's name.
I don't want to tell. Listen, Jones, my assistant isn't the type of fellow who'd bandy a man's good name in public.
For the last time, gentlemen, who was the man?
Come clean, Ravelli. Who was the man with his wife? All right. You make a me tell, I tell you. Mr. Jones, the man with your wife, was my boss, Mr. Beagle.
This is an outrage. My attorney going out with my wife?
What do you mean outrage? Don't you think I'm good enough for her?
I'm going to get a new attorney.
I suppose you think we can't get a new client.
Good day.
Ravelli, you did noble work. You can have the rest of the year off. And if you never come back, I'll give you a bonus. Well, boss, there's something I want to tell you. Go right ahead, I'm not listening. You want I should never come back? In a word, yes. All right, boss, I make you proposition. If you want I should never come back, I gotta have more money. Ravelli, it's worth it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very important what I am going to say. So first, I'll tell you what I'm going to tell you, then I'll tell you. And after that, I tell you what I told you. Take it easy, Chico. You're working yourself into a temperature. That ain't from the speech, Groucho. It's from the suit I bought. The suit you bought? Yeah, it's a 2-pants suit and 2 pairs of socks. It's too warm when you ain't outside. I see. Well, it's human to make mistakes, and you're only human. However, no one would know what to look at you. Groucho, you're too grouchy. Why don't you do things to make the people glad? I suppose I don't. Well, yesterday I went to visit Uncle Charlie, and it made him very happy. And that wasn't all. An hour later, I left, and that made him twice as happy. Yeah, I don't know what to do about Uncle Charlie. He's a case. He's such a crank. You mean a crankcase? Well, Esalobe, that famous hydrophine motor oil, is the best thing in the world for a crankcase. Hey, you didn't say nothing about Esso, which is more powerful than any gasoline. Well, we can mention Esso next week, so... Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. 5-Star Theater presents Beagle Shyster and Beagle, episode number 2, December 5th, 1932. Cast: Groucho Marx as Waldorf T. Beagle, Chico Marx as Emmanuel Ravelli, Miss Dimple, Mr. Scrooge, and Cop and Woman. Ring!
Law offices of Beagle Shyster and Beagle. Oh, hello, darling. I was just thinking about you. Oh, I can't talk now. My boss, Mr. Beagle, just came in. Good morning, Mr. Beagle.
Good morning. What's good about it? The rain is coming through the roof. The landlord's coming through the door. My wife goes through my pockets, and I'm going through my shoes. And you say it's a good morning? Miss Dimple, you were late again this morning. Where were you last night?
Last night? Why, I was out with you.
Out with me, eh? Miss Dimple, it isn't a good policy to mix business with pleasure.
But, Mr. Beagle,
Oh, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say it wasn't any pleasure. Well, I didn't have any fun either.
But you asked me to go out.
Yes, but you didn't have to go out on the second drink, Miss Dimple.
Yes, Mr. Beagle.
Today is Monday. What have we got on the books besides red ink? What's on the court calendar for this afternoon?
You know you have a suit on today.
Certainly I have a suit on today. Do you expect me to come in my nightshirt? I only wear that for night court. Where's that assistant I hired last week?
Oh, Mr. Ravelli, he just phoned.
Oh, he phoned, did he? Where did he get the nickel? You know, he's been holding out on me. I thought I told him to go out and chase ambulances. How's he going to get clients unless he finds accidents? What did Ravelli have to say?
He said he's coming in to see you.
Oh, so he's coming in to see me. I suppose he doesn't think I'm good enough to go out and see him. Maybe he's ashamed to let me see where he lives. Where does he live?
He's been living here in the office ever since you hired him.
Oh, he has he? No wonder he's ashamed. Well, you tell him he'll have to sleep in the hall tonight. I'm having people up here for dinner. Have I any appointments today?
No, Mr. Beagle, you haven't got any appointments at all.
Well, make some. Do you expect me to sit here all alone all day? Don't you think I get lonesome? What do you take me for? Well, go on, make me an offer. Miss Dimple, get off my lap and see who's at the door.
It's probably Mr. Scrooge, the landlord, coming in to see you about the rent. He's looking for his money.
Tell him to look next door. There's more light there, and more money, too.
The landlord's been in 5 times already, when you were out.
Is this him?
Yes, it's Mr. Scrooge.
Bring him in, I'll talk to him. Are you Mr. Beagle? Am I Mr. Beagle? What right have you got to walk into a man's office and insult him? Did you ever get a load of Mr. Beagle? No. I've been looking for him long enough, but I've never been able to find him. Well, then I can speak freely. As man to man, I advise you to give it all up. What's your name? What's my name, eh? There's ignorance for you. Why, I've got a 10-year-old boy who knows my name. That's about enough of this. When's Beagle coming in? Now I'll ask you one. When are you going out? Why, stuck, huh? All right, I'll ask you another. What's a two-letter word meaning a piece of office furniture? Oh, I don't know. What? Give up? The answer is desk. Desk? There are more than 2 letters in desk. Well, there's only 2 letters in my desk. I tore the others up. Are you crazy? Don't you ever do anything but ask questions? Don't you know any other games? I'll tell you what. You go out in the hall and hide, and I'll bet you 10 to 1 we won't find you. I'll bet you 20 to 1 we won't even look for you. I'm gonna stay here until Beagle gets back. Have you got a reservation? We're pretty full up now. I think I may be able to fix you up in March. No, now that I've looked you over, I think it'll take longer than that to fix you up. How's your liver today? My liver's all right. Fine, we'll take a pound. Miss Dimple, get some bacon to go with that liver and we'll have lunch. Perhaps Mr. Stooge would like to join us. My name is not Stooge, it's Scrooge. And I want to see Beagle about the rent. I'm not going to sit around here waiting for Beagle. You tell him when he comes back that if he doesn't pay me the rent for the past 6 months, I'll sue him. Oh, you're going to sue him. I'll take that case, Scrooge. We'll collect that rent if it takes the last cent you have. I'm not going to waste my time talking to an egg like you. Goodbye. Oh, I'm an egg, am I? That reminds me, I haven't eaten today. Miss Dimple, is there any more of that telephone book left? As I recall it, yesterday I ate as far as Levy, and that was only page 93. By the way, Miss Dimple, can you stuff a turkey? Of course I can stuff a turkey. Well, the next time you pass a butcher shop, stuff one in your pocket and bring it up here. If that Scrooge is loose again, I'm out. I'll see who it is. Oh, it's your assistant, Mr. Ravelli. Can you see him? Certainly not. I can't see him. I can't see him for dust. Dust him off and bring him in. For there's no place like home. There's a no place like home. For there's a no place like home. There's a no place like home. For there's a... Ravelli, what are you singing? Home Sweet Home. It sounds terrible. Well, my home is terrible. For there's a no place like home. Ravelli, will you stop that confounded noise? That's not noise, that's singing. Well, if that singing makes some noise, what are you singing for anyway? Just to kill time. Well, you've certainly got a swell weapon. What have you been doing all week? Chasing ice wagons. You've been doing what? Chasing ice wagons. I just came in to get warm. I thought I sent you out to chase ambulances. You did, but ambulances go too fast. Well, this is a fine how-do-you-do. One of the finest how-do-you-dos I've ever seen. How do you like to give me some salary? Oh, you want salary? We haven't even got olives. Listen, Ravelli, unless you get some clients, we're going to get thrown out of here. It's all right. I don't like the place very much anyhow. No, listen, Ravelli, I mean business. You're going to stand out in the street in front of this office and bring in a client if it kills you. Me stand out in the street and get clients? I don't think that's very good. Suppose my wife sees me. Oh, you're married? Where is your wife? My wife, she's home. Yeah? How do you know she's home? I got her shoes on. Anybody want a lawyer? Anybody want a lawyer? You want a lawyer, lady? Nice, a fresh lawyer today. All right, it don't hurt to ask, you know. Hey, mister, how about you? You want a lawyer? No, I don't want a lawyer. Well, what do you want? I want you to leave me alone. That's no good. What else you want? Nice lawyer, maybe. Nice, fresh lawyer today. I got no use for a lawyer. Well, I got no use for him either. But I gotta get a client. Say, what are you gonna try to do? What sort of game is this? Huh? Lay off me. Beat it, or I'll call a cop. You wanna sue me? I got a good lawyer for you. Oh, you... Officer, will you keep this nuisance away from me? Here now. Move, you. Obstructing traffic. Can't move, officer. We no pay the rent. Listen, you. I know you don't mean any harm. How do you know that? Sure I do. Oh, so you're a wise guy. Oh, no. But my boss, Mr. Beagle, he's the wise guy. You want a lawyer? What would I be wanting a lawyer for? I don't know. Take him home, wash him up. Show him to the kids. Listen, what are you trying to do? Mr. Beagle, my boss, sent me down here to get clients. Well, you're not going to get any clients for a lawyer standing around here. That's a fine. How am I going to get clients? You better hustle around and look for an accident. That's the way to get clients. Now move out of here. If you're here when I get back, I'll run you in. Here, run me in. Here, run me in. Anybody want a lawyer? Anybody want a lawyer? Anybody got an accident? Anybody got a nice fresh accident? Hey, mister, you got an accident? Accident? What are you talking about? All right, I make my own accidents. Ah, here comes a wagon. That's a fine. The next man comes along, I push him under. Hey, who pushed me? Who pushed me? Me, Waldorf T. An innocent bystander. Well, fairly innocent. Oh, so it was you, Ravelli? What's the big idea of pushing me? Don't you know you might have killed that horse? I don't know that it was you, Mr. Beagle. The joke's on me. Oh, the joke's on you. Well, the horse was on me. Did you ever have a horse on your stomach? No, but I once had a coat on my chest. Well, enough of this horseplay. Where are those clients? I walk up and down 3 hours. I ask everybody, but nobody wants to see you. You're telling me. Listen, Ravelli, what we've got to do is make America Beagle conscious. Let America wait. Anybody want the lawyer? Anybody want the lawyer? Shh, be careful. Someone might hear you. I don't think so. Nobody's heard me yet. What you need, Ravelli, is technique. What I need is nobody's business. What I need even more is anybody's business. Well, you're so smart, you get us some clients. Oh, so you're trying to taunt me. All right, you'll eat those words. And if I don't get some food soon, I'll eat those words. Well, we can't stand here all day. The next client that comes along, let me do the talking. That's a fine. Hey, here comes a lady. A lady? Pull up your socks, Ravelli.
Can one of you gentlemen direct me to 42nd Street in Times Square?
That's a fine. Now we got a case. How do you do, lady? Well, madam, it's about time you showed up. And even now, you don't show up very well. Ravelli, get off that fire plug and let the lady sit down. Now, what can we do for you, madam? How about getting you a divorce? It'll be a nice Christmas present for your husband.
Divorce? I merely asked how to get to 42nd Street in Times Square.
Don't beat around the bush. You need a divorce, and I need a divorce. I need your divorce if I'm going to pay my rent. Now, madam, out with it. How did the whole thing start? She asked us how to get to Times Square.
Why, I don't know.
I can see it all. You married this man, this innocent little man. Oh, no, that was another client. Hey, boss, we got another client?
I tell you, I won't stand for this.
Who's telling the story, you or me? You married him when you were only a girl, he was only a man. So far it hangs together pretty well. Yes, and if you don't watch out, we hang together.
Will you please explain to me what you're talking about?
You gave him everything. Everything. And what did you get out of it? And all the time the beast was running around with beautiful, luscious, sensuous blondes. Hey, Ravelli, where are you going? Well, you just gave me an idea. You come back here.
I won't stand for this one moment longer.
I don't blame you, but don't worry. Beagle is on the trail. Now, what grounds can we divorce you on? How about the polo grounds? By the way, I think you'd like the polo grounds, especially if you decide to play ball with us. Later on, we might trade you for Babe Ruth. We might even trade you for a Buick. Say, you're getting to be pretty useful. I can't understand why your husband wants to divorce you. Maybe we can talk him out of it. By the way, where is he?
Where is who?
Do I have to go through all that again? He just wants to know where your husband is.
I have no husband.
What?
I'm not married, and I won't be married till August.
All right, then. We'll give you the divorce in September. Don't anybody want the lawyer? Don't anybody want the lawyer? Here, here. What do you want to stand out here for? I don't want to stand out here. Maybe you got a chair. Say, listen, you can't park in front of this building and sell things. Oh, you found that out too. What is it you don't sell? I don't sell anything. Well, so do I. Shake. You wouldn't want a lawyer, would you? How do you know I wouldn't? Well, you wouldn't want this one. As a matter of fact, I want a lawyer, and I want one bad. I got just the man for you. He's terrible. That's his name? What's the difference? What's his name? You don't know him? Listen, I'm Mr. Scrooge, and I got a tenant who hasn't paid his rent in 6 months. I want a lawyer to dispossess him. Come on. I'll take a look at your man. I think you better hire him first and look at him afterwards. You're not a very good salesman. Where's his office? Where's his office? Right here in this building. Come on, I'll show you. Oh, his office is in this building? Sure. And he lives here. I live here too. Come on. Don't you know it's against the law to live in an office building? What we care. We cook here too. Yesterday we have corned beef and cabbage. Oh boy, that was a good. The tenants all complain, but the landlord, he don't say nothing. He's scared of us. So, he's scared of you, is he? Sure, he's yellow. You like this lawyer. I hope you get time to see him. He's a very rich man. He doesn't take many cases. He'll see me, all right. Here we are. No, not here. The next door. Beagle Shyster and Beagle. You stay here. I see if Mr. Beagle can see you. Well, be quick about it. Don't move. Hey, Miss Dimple, guess what I got outside?
Shh, Mr. Beagle is very busy.
Well, wake him up. I got a client. I heard you, Ravelli. You got a client. You can't lie to me. I wasn't born yesterday. If I was, what am I doing with these long pants on? Boss, I tell you I'm not lying. I got a client. A client? Quick, Miss Dimple, my shoes. And get those mice off the typewriter. Show the client up, Ravelli. No, never mind. You show him in. I'll show him up. You can come in now. Thanks. This is my boss, Mr. Beagle. Boss, this is our new client, Mr. Scrooge. Are you Mr. Beagle? That's just what you said the last time when you came in here. Am I sick of you? Oh, so you're Mr. Beagle. Now look here, Beagle. I'm not going to speak to you again about the rent.
Oh, that's a relief. I'm glad you came around to my way of thinking. This is probably the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Scrooge, I could feel a spark the moment you came in this office. I can feel another spark now. You have to put out that cigar. My pants are on fire. Let them burn. It will be the first time we've had heat in this building all winter.
If you would pay the rent, you'd get enough heat in this office.
If we could pay the rent, we'd get out of this office.
Listen, Beagle. I've had just about enough of you. Your friend tells me you're a rich man and I want my rent. Oh, he told you I was rich, did he? Well, he's just a dreamer. Aren't we all? Mind you, Scrooge, I'm not blaming you. You're only doing your duty. You're just a white-collar man. And unless you change that collar soon, you won't even be that. How am I doing, Ravelli? That's a fine boss. I think he likes you. For the last time, Beagle, will you or won't you pay the rent?
Is there a choice? Sure, there's a choice. There's a piggy choice. Oh, pardon me, Mr. Scrooge. That's the phone. Hello? Can you hear me? I can hear you, too. Marvelous inventions, these telephones. Oh, so it's you. Asterbelt! How many times have I told you not to disturb me during office hours? Oh, you want me to represent your railroads? Well, you know my terms. Send over a $5,000 retainer at once. Oh, yes, and half a pound of butter. See that, Mr. Scrooge? Everybody is after him, and you want to bother him with a little thing like rent?
Well, maybe I was a little hasty.
Listen, Asterbelt, I wouldn't consider your propositions for a minute if I wasn't in love with your wife. As it is, I'll think it over. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll sleep on it. That is, if the desk doesn't get too uncomfortable. I'll phone you in the morning. Goodbye.
Well, Mr. Beagle, I had no idea you were handling such big cases. Maybe I'd better come back some other time when you're not so busy.
That's a fine. Maybe you better not come back at all.
You're sure everything is satisfactory around the office?
Well, now that you speak of it, there are a few things I don't like about the place. In fact, I don't like you about the place. Of course, we could always have you painted. We could even shellac you. Boy, how we can shellac you.
Well, I'll be seeing you again.
Drop in any time, old man. You'll always find welcome on the mat. And you'll always find the man at the pawnbroker's. And lock that door after you.
Yes, Mr. Beagle.
And now, Ravelli. Yes, boss. Statistics show that there are 8 million people in the city. 2 million go by this office every day, and out of those 2 million, you got to pick the landlord to bring in here. Well, what have you got to say for yourself? I think I should get a raise. That sounds reasonable. That sounds familiar, too. Where do you think I'm going to get the money? Well, you just told Asterbelt you wouldn't take the $1 million case. Asterbelt my eye. That was the telephone company calling. They offer you $1 million cases? No, you sap. They just called up to say that they've cut off the phone service. They cut off the phone service? That's too bad. So how are you going to call up Asterbelt in the morning? Ravelli, the next time you cross the street, make sure the traffic lights are against you. 5-Star Theater presents Beagle, Shyster, and Beagle. Episode number 3, December 12th, 1932. Cast, Groucho Marx as Waldorf T. Beagle, Chico Marx as Emmanuel Ravelli, Miss Dimple, client, cop, woman, butler, keeper. Hello? Offices of Beagle, Shyster, and Beagle? Mr. Beagle? No, he isn't in. The check came back? Oh, there must be some mistake. I'll tell Mr. Beagle. Okay. Click. Oh, good morning, Mr. Beagle. The landlord called again. He wants his rent paid. I should pay his rent? Well, I can't even pay my own rent. Any other calls? Yes, the laundryman called. The check you gave him came back. It came back? Fine. Take that check and send it to the landlord. But the laundryman says it isn't any good. He won't take your check. He wants a draft. He wants a draft? Well, tell him to open the window. Hereafter, Miss Dimple, send my laundry home to my wife. Our customers tell me she does very good work. Yes, sir. By the way, Mr. Beagle, how did you make out in court? Splendid, splendid, Miss Dimple. I got my client off. You got him off? Yes, I got him off the streets for 6 months. They put him in the workhouse. Come in. Hello, boss. I was looking for you in the pool room. Oh, it's you, Ravelli. A fine assistant you are. What do you mean by coming in at this hour of the day? Well, boss, I wouldn't have come in, but a cop come and chased me out of the park. Listen, Ravelli, you're loafing on the job. Look at that table. That dust has been on there for 10 weeks. Well, you can't blame me for that. I've only been working here 3 weeks. But listen, boss, I got some good news. You mean you're quitting? No, I no quit. I got some good news for you. Listen, Ravelli, the only good news you could bring me would be a noose around your neck. Ha, you don't understand. I got a new client. A new client? Where is he? Why doesn't he come in? He can't come in. He's a little bit unconscious. You gotta come out and help me carry him in. I should carry him in?
Let him go to my creditors. They've been carrying me for 10 years. Ravelli, he's got to be brought in. I don't care how, by hook or by crook. And we haven't got a hook, so it's up to you. That's the fine. I go out and push him in. Miss Dipple, quick. Make out a bill for $500 for legal services. Who is the client? I don't know. Ravelli hasn't brought him in yet. And when you're through, run down to the corner and get me a couple of cigars. The kind I got yesterday? No, get me stronger cigars. Stronger cigars? Yes, much stronger. The ones you got yesterday broke in my pocket. Well, here's the old geezer, boss. Where shall I put him? Drop him in that chair. Say, he looks pretty good for an old geezer. I look pretty good for an old geezer, too. I look for this old geezer all day.
Gentlemen, I don't like being called an old geezer.
All right. Then I call you old sourpuss. Hey, old geezer.
My name is John Smith.
Not Captain John Smith. Say, how's Pocahontas? Miss Dimple, send that bill to Captain John Smith in care of Pocahontas. Captain, have you got a stamp on you? That's a fine, boss. If he got a stamp on him, I won't have to carry him no more. We can mail him home.
Please, Mr. Beagle, I'm here on business. I was on my way to my banker's next door when I met your assistant, Mr. Ravelli.
Well, that's your hard luck.
He persuaded me that I ought to have my will looked over, so I went home and got it. I thought I'd kill two birds with one stone.
Listen, Smith, first let's see the will. We can go hunting for birds later.
Very well, I will read you my will now. I, John Smith, being of sound mind...
Sound mind, eh? Well, that's the first thing we'll have to eliminate. That's fine, I'll take some. You'll take what? Eliminate. Take a nice cold glass of lemonade. That's very good, Ravelli, that's very good. Here, stuff this handkerchief down your throat and eliminate yourself.
If you don't mind, I'll go on with the reading.
And stuff a handkerchief down your throat.
$1 million in cash, which I...
You have $1 million in cash? Ravelli, Captain Smith is our guest. Take your hand out of his pocket. Just a little mistake, boss. His suit looked so much like my suit, I thought I had my hand in my own pocket.
Pay no attention to him, Captain. Go on with the will. $1 million in cash, which I give and bequeath to my dear and beloved Aunt Sarah. Aunt Sarah? You mean you're going to give all that money to a woman you're not even married to? Captain, you know how people will talk. You know what they'll say. Captain, think of her good name. Aunt Sarah is a very good name. Just ask yourself, are you being fast at that little wire-haired old lady who has struggled all these years to get your money? No, Captain, no. 1,000 times no. Mr. Beagle, this is very surprising. Splendid, Captain, splendid. I knew you'd see it our way. Now, as to that $1 million, I suggest charity. I've got just a charity for you. The Beagle Foundation for the Advancement of Beagle. Hey, boss, what about me? Didn't I carry him in? All right, Ravelli. We'll split the old geezer two ways. $500,000 for the Beagle Foundation for the Advancement of Beagle, and $500,000 for the Ravelli Foundation for the Advancement of Beagle. That's a fine, boss. From now on, I think I'm going to call you Square Deal Beagle. Don't I have anything to say about it? All right, Captain, let's hear a word from you. Mr. Beagle, there you are. That's 2 words. I let you have a word and you take 2, and I thought I could trust you. See here, Mr. Beagle, I'll have you know I'm just as honest as you are. Hey, just a minute. You're just as honest as Mr. Beagle, eh? Hey, boss, I think we better lock up the safe. If you don't mind, I'll continue reading my will. Now, my house on Long Island, my villa in Newport, my yacht and 3 motor cars I leave to my loyal brother, Hector. Hector? What kind of a Hector? A movie Hector? Hey, what's his name? His name is Hector. Hector Smith. He's an inventor. Inventor? That's no good. It's too cold, inventor. In summer? Hey, boss, that's a fine in the summer. Perhaps I'm not making myself clear. Yes, you are, Captain. I can see right through you. I want to leave the balance of my estate to my brother Hector. Captain John Smith, I'm amazed. Do you mean to say that you're going to cut Pocahontas off without a nickel? After all she's done for you? Why, man, she saved your scalp. And what other hair tonic can do that? Furthermore, gentlemen, I want to say I never... It's nothing at all, Captain. It's settled, that rat. What rat? I mean, your brother Hector's disinherited the house. All right, boss, all right, I take the house. You'll take the house. Do you think I like living in this office? All right, boss, you take the house, I'll take the 3 automobiles. See here, Mr. Ravelli, I wish... Shut up, Smith. I can fight my own battles. Ravelli, let's talk this thing over. What do you take for one of those cars? Oh, no, I don't want to settle, boss. These cars have been in the family for a long time. But I'm willing to pay, Ravelli, and handsomely. I'll give you the villa, and I'll throw in my girl's telephone number. I don't want your girl's telephone number. Every time I call her up, you answer. Gentlemen, it strikes me that you're not considering my wishes in the matter. Captain, you're absolutely right. You can sign right here. If anything else turns up, you can see me at my office or at my home. I'm home every evening but Thursday. Where do you go Thursday? Thursday is the maid's night out, and I always go out with her. Hey, boss, not so fast. We're in Long Island. Maybe Captain Smith's house is the next block. You better drive slower. Where's your sporting blood, Ravelli? A race is a race.
Do you think I'm going to let that motorcycle cop beat us? Hey, boss, watch that lamppost. You watch the lamppost. I got my hands full driving this car. Hey, look out, I tell you, look out, the lamppost. Ravelli, where are you? Here I am, boss. Here I am. Up here, on top of the lamppost. I told you to watch the lamppost. I didn't tell you to sit on it. Come on down. Hey, you guys, where's the fire? I don't know, Mr. Policeman. We come from out of town. Yeah, well, this is going to cost you plenty. What do you mean, cost me plenty? We know better nothing on this race. You were going 70 miles an hour. You make a mistake, officer. We haven't been out an hour. We only stole this car 15 minutes ago. Do you guys know that you were driving on the wrong side of the street? That you crashed through a fence, knocked down a lamppost, smashed a wagon, and damaged the car in front of you? See here, officer. I paid $3 for my driving license. Doesn't that entitle me to any privileges? Pipe down, and take this ticket. Hey, officer, how about a ticket for me? Make it a Wednesday matinee. I got a date. You can give him my ticket, officer. I don't think I care to go. The last time I got a ticket, it cost me $15. You'll take this ticket, all right. There you are. I'm going. Say, boss, what about the car? Let it lay there. It probably isn't paid for anyway. Well, what do you know about that? We broke down right in front of the house we're looking for. Captain Smith said it was a brown house with a porch in front. What kind of porch? A front porch or a back porch? He didn't say. He just said it was a house with a porch in front. All right, I'll go on back and see if there's a front porch. You look in the front and see if there's a back porch. Hey, I bet Captain Smith is going to be surprised when we walk in. Good old Smith. It's nice of him to will us the house. You know, I'll be almost sorry to see him kick the bucket. That's all right, boss. We get him a new bucket. Hey, look, here's a window. We can get in through here. Ravelli, a gentleman never enters a house through a window. So you go through the window and answer the door when I ring the bell. Jamson? Who is this man? I really don't know, madame. He must have flown in through the window. Sir, who are you? Me? I'm Emmanuel Ravelli, and I know who you are, too. You can't fool me. You're Aunt Sarah. You must be mad. Ding dong! Oh, I'm not mad, Aunt Sarah. My boss, he's going to be mad if I don't open the door pretty quick. Jamson? What will my guest think? Take this man out at once. Oh, no. I'm not going out with him. But I go out with you some night. Hey, baby, what do you say, okay? Ding dong. This is unbearable. Jamson, open the door and see who it is. Yes, madame. Where's that, Ravelli? This is a pretty kettle of fish. Hey, fish ain't kettle. Horses and cows is kettle. Here I am being kept waiting at the threshold, but it's practically my own home. Your home? You must be crazy. You're right, Dan Sarah. This ain't his home. It's half mine. I brought the old geezer into the office. Old geezer? Just what are you talking about? Playing dumb, eh? Well, two can play that game as well as one, and Ravelli isn't even playing. Sir, just what can I do for you? Madam, we'll discuss that later. Right now my mind is on business. If the old geezer wants me to take over this house when he kicks off, he'll have to fix it up to suit my taste. Look at those pictures on the wall. They're terrible. Why, those pictures are masterpieces. They're 200 years old. 200 years old? Yes, and they look it. Why, that's older than my overcoat. Ravelli, take those pictures down off the wall and hang up my overcoat instead. Keep your hands off those pictures. I tell you, they are valuable old masterpieces. That's an old master? It looks more like a lady to me. Shut up, Ravelli. Well, the pictures are not the only thing that need improving. Tomorrow we give the house a coat of paint. We'll give it a good coat. Then the next day we'll give it the pants and the vest. What is the meaning of all this? The will I have with me explains everything. If you will join me in the parlor, I will read it. Jameson, a whiskey and soda. A whiskey for me and a soda for Ravelli. Bicarbonate or soda. All this is simply intolerable. Madam, if you'll be good enough to dry up, I'll read the will. Here we go. I, Captain John Smith, known to my attorney as Old Geezer, being 68 years of age and very repulsive. How do you like it so far, Miss Smith? I'm not Miss Smith. You have the wrong address. Oh, no. We got the right address. You must be in the wrong house.
Ridiculous. I've lived here for years, and I tell you there are no Smiths here.
No Smiths? Well, why didn't you say that before?
That's just what I tried to...
I know. You thought you'd have a little fun at our expense. Madam, I'm a lawyer. My time is valuable, and you're going to pay for it. In the morning, you'll get a bill for 60 cents. Hey, boss, what about me? I'm here, too. He's right, madam. He's here, too. I'll reduce the bill to... 40 cents.
Hello, Mr. Smith? Are you the John Smith who came into the office of Beagle Shyster Beagle about 6 weeks ago to have a will drawn up? No? Well, you don't have to get fresh about it. Goodbye. It's no use, Mr. Beagle. I've tried every John Smith in the phone book, and I haven't found him yet. I simply don't know where to look for him.
Oh, I know where to look for him, all right. What I'd like to know is where to find him. The sneak. He promises to leave me his fortune, and all he does is leave me.
Will that be all?
No, I want you to take my law book back to the library and get me the Rover Boys in the pants business. My friends are all talking about it. Hello, boss. How's things? Ravelli, what are you doing here? I thought I told you to go outside and look for Smith. I know, boss, but it's raining outside. Well, let it rain. That's just what I was going to do. That settles it. You're fired. Go, Ravelli, go. And never darken my office towels again. Miss Dimple, take his name off the payroll. See, Miss Dimple, I look and look for a job for 18 years. I look, and when I find one, the boss, he fires me.
Mr. Ravelli, you looked for a job for 18 years? How is it you didn't find one?
I don't know, Miss Dimple. I think it was just good luck.
I'll open it, Mr. Beagle. Why, it's Mr. Smith.
Smith? Ravelli, it's Smith. Hey, it's the cat. Hey, look, he's a looker fine. That's too bad. But don't let that trouble you. Ravelli, from now on, he'll be under our care.
How do you do, gentlemen? I came...
Here you are, Cap. Take a seat. No, Ravelli, not there. Sit in by the window. There's a good draft there. There you are, Captain. Sit right down. How's that?
It's kind of chilly. I'll catch cold.
That's fine. Ravelli, open the other window.
No, you better shut the window. It's raining outside.
Hey, what do you care? If I shut the window, it'll still be raining outside.
Mr. Beagle, about the new will you drew up for me, I've been somewhat troubled by the middle clause.
He's got a mistake. He don't mean the middle clause. He means the Santa Claus. But he no fool of me. There ain't no Santa Claus.
That's beside the point. I was just thinking, instead of leaving $1 million to those foundations you've mentioned, it might be a good idea to leave $500,000 to my children and $500,000 to an orphanage.
Nonsense, Smith. That involves too much bookkeeping. Instead of leaving half of your money to your children and the other half to the orphanage, why not leave your children to the orphanage and the $1 million to me?
Leave you a cool $1 million?
Don't worry, Cap, don't worry. We warm it up for you. Miss Dimple, open the door. Ravelli, hide the captain. It might be his relatives. I'm looking for... Oh, there you are, Smith. You're coming with me. Oh, no, we saw the captain first. Come along, Smith. You leave me alone. I've got business to attend to with my lawyer. See here, stranger. If you want to take Smith away, you've got to leave us a deposit. We've got $1 million tied up in old sourpuss. I've got to take him away. He escaped from the asylum. What? What do you say? Yep. He may become violent at any moment. You let me alone. You let me alone. Hold him. You hold him. We're through with him. I'll get you, Beagle. Out of my way, Ravelli. Hey, Ravelli. What do you mean by jumping out of the window ahead of your boss? Dun 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 dun. Well, there we had it. The first 3 episodes of Beagle, Shyster, and Beagle, which later became Flywheel, Shyster, and Flywheel, the Marx Brothers Lost radio show. I hope you enjoyed my recreation of it. Under the circumstances and under the conditions I'm working, I think I did pretty well. You know, great comedy is something that should be treasured and cherished. The world is a much better place for having access to all this brilliant comedy material that the great comedians left us with their legacy of laughter, such as you can get all these, any number of these books on the subject, and
albums. Now you can get films on videotape. It's really great that we never let this stuff go unrecognized. And thanks to the works of the many authors and editors, preservers of this legacy of laughter, the world will keep on laughing. So, I'd like to leave you with this song. Laugh, 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 there's lots to be thankful for. Laugh, 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 things have been worse before. When you're down on your luck and you're full of fear, all you need is a comic conscience to give you good cheer. So just laugh, laugh, laugh.
Okay.